So if you've done any kind of work on yourself in the personal development world, one term that you will run into sooner or later is the concept of the ego. And today I wanted to dive into one aspect of the ego that you might be struggling with without even realizing, and that is victim mindset. So if you want to find out what victim mindset has to do with your ego, then be sure to keep watching. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a life coach and law of attraction teacher, and you have found your way to my YouTube channel where every week I upload 2 new videos for you guys all about the art of healing yourself from the inside out so that you can go forth and create your best life ever. And if that sounds like something of interest to you, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. So as I said at the top of the video, you might be a little surprised to hear the words victim mindset and ego in the same sentence. So today I thought I would do a little video to help clear this up and to help to maybe give you a little bit of perspective on your own victim mindset if that is where you are coming from. So first of all, let's talk about the victim mindset and what that is. And this is something that basically everybody has. So when I make a video like this, it isn't to call you out or isn't to make you feel shame about something. It is for you to sort of understand this part of your brain and what's happening inside of you and understand what it's doing and understand also the ways in which this mindset is holding you back so that you can begin to do the healing work and free yourself from this constraint. So a victim mentality would be the kind of mentality that we have when we blame other people or other circumstances for where we are in life. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky because we all have things in our life that are not in our hands that could be considered obstacles to our success, right? So you could blame your childhood, you could blame your parents, you can blame your schooling or your lack of education, you can blame the city that you live in, you can blame your boss, you can blame so many things for you not being happy in life, for you not being successful in life. And the truth of the matter is, of course, we all have obstacles in life. There are always things in our way. There's not a single person out there that just like goes towards success and just gets it without coming up against something. So it's really important to understand that, for one thing, obstacles are only really obstacles when we decide they're too big for us, right? Like when we decide that a story is too much for us to deal with, and that is when we give up. That is when we become a victim, but that is also when we hand our power away to this other thing. There are plenty of people in the world walking around who are not handing away their power, who very much still have the same obstacles in their life, but they are making progress and they are doing what they want to do despite of that, right? So it's really important to understand that just because you have an obstacle in your life, it doesn't mean that you have to live this victim mentality. It doesn't mean that you have to give up. It doesn't mean that your story is over, okay? With that all being said, most of us are very well versed in this victim mindset because this is kind of the way the world works. And this is yet another reason why I think emotional education is so important, because we are actually the ones that are putting limitations on ourselves. We are the ones that are writing our story or not writing our story the way we want it to be written. And it's really crucial for you guys to understand that there is always a choice. No matter what has happened to you, no matter what your story is, you can choose what you want. You can still make whatever it is that you want to have happen. You do not have to give up. So it is really important to get your power back and to understand that you know, things might have happened to you. You might not have had the best circumstances. You've definitely had bumps in the road, but you kept going anyway. So that is a really important thing to just even understand that you can do that, okay? It's super empowering. But with that being said, of course, many of us are used to our victim stories. Many of us have been talking about being a victim for a very long time. And actually, I have been in this situation in the past where I've actually had relationships with other people where we were victims together, where we just kind of like to sit around and talk about all the crappy things wrong with our life. And instead of using that energy to fix something or to switch up our story or to do anything about it, we just kind of got stuck in this state of thinking everything sucks, everything is against me, etc., etc. So when it comes to changing our victim mentality, many times we are very reluctant to. We are reluctant to because we're used to telling the story this way. We're reluctant to because we like to be right. We're reluctant to because this idea of us being a victim is such a big part of us. It is actually part of our identity now. And there is literally nothing scarier to our lizard brain than changing our identity. So getting out of victim mode can be a massive undertaking for any of us, even when you can see that on the other side of victim mode, there is way more freedom and possibility for you. So the reason why I wanted to make this video today, though, is to talk about how victim mentality is actually part of your ego. And that might sound a little bit shocking, right? Like if you feel like the world is against you and you feel like you can't change your circumstances, and if you feel like, things are always going wrong for you, like it might sound like the craziest thing for me to suggest that being the victim might just be part of your ego. Okay, so before we dive into that, let's just talk about the ego for a second. So we all have this part of our brain that is the ego, and you acknowledging that you have an ego is not you acknowledging that you're egotistical or that you are stuck up or that you have a big head about yourself, right? We all have an ego, and our ego's job is to protect us. But it doesn't really protect us. It protects us in the weirdest ways because our brain in some ways is so very primitive. So our brain likes to protect us by ensuring that we're always right and by kind of watching out for us in this way that really actually gets in our way and trips us up. And this has a lot to do with the subconscious work that I do. If you come to me as a coaching client, we're going to really look into your subconscious and look into your ego for these patterns, because most of the time, many of us are actually being held back from what we really want in life because of these patterns in our mind. So with that all being said, our victim story can very much be part of the ego, right? Because let's face it, if you are the victim, it is really easy to be the victim, right? It is really easy for you to point your fingers at everyone and everything else in the world and say, this should be like this and this should be like that and that shouldn't have happened. It's way easier to do that than it is to work on yourself, okay? So that is number one reason why your ego might actually be the root cause of your victim story. The second reason why your ego might be part of your victim story is because, like I just sort of mentioned, the ego is very invested in keeping you safe. And what does that really mean in this modern day and age? We aren't out there foraging for food and hunting for animals and living a dangerous life where we have to be hardwired for danger. But our brain is still in many ways hardwired for danger, and our ego is part of that. So our ego is actually, wanting us to stay the same. It doesn't want us to change. It doesn't want us to do new things. It doesn't want us to change our identity of ourselves at all, because all of those things are new and therefore scary. So I just wanted to make this video today because I want you guys to question yourselves, and I want you to be really honest with yourselves if this is ringing a bell with you. Again, this isn't to shame you, this isn't to call people out, but this is a pattern we can all get in, and it's really important to realize when you're getting into it, right? Because like I explained at the beginning of the video, the victim mentality is not doing you any favors. It is not letting you live your best life. It is not part of how you get to the life that you really want, right? So we have to understand that victim mentality does not get us where we need to go. And we also need to be gentle with ourselves and understand that a very big part of us really wants to hold on to that victim story because it's comfy, because it's cozy, because it's easy. It is way easier to be self-righteous and wave your finger around and judge everybody and everything else rather than doing the work to change yourself. It is so much easier to complain. It is so much easier to give your power away than it is to take your power back. But I just want to offer this thought to you today because, like I said, everything that you really want and the kind of person you want to be and the kind of life that you want to have really lies on the other side of this victim story. And if you want to be the fully embodied badass that I know you really are, and I know that's why you're watching this video today, I know that you're not looking for these videos on YouTube because you really think that you're resigned to a life of feeling like crap about yourself. I know that you are here today because you are ready for more. I know that you are here today because you are ready to do the healing work. So the healing work isn't always easy, and it is really difficult sometimes to confront these parts of ourselves. But like I said at the beginning of the video, Everything that you want is laying on the other side of your victim story. You need to learn how to let this go. You need to learn how to consider other possibilities. You need to learn how to sort of manage your ego from managing you, because if you let the ego win, then you are going to end up in the exact same place. And not that there's anything wrong with the same place that you're in right now, but if you want to change, then obviously you need to do something different. Okay, so I hope this video inspires you today. I hope that maybe you've learned a little bit about yourself, and I hope that this gives you the bravery you need in order to let go of these limiting beliefs about yourself, in order to let go of the victim story, and in order to really become the person that you were always meant to be. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like or send it along to a friend that you think could use this message. If you want to learn more about me, come on over to the site. I have a free Feel Better free class for you guys to watch over there. If you sign up for updates, I will send out the video lessons to you straight away. So please come join me over there. Thank you guys again for being here. If you want to watch more from me, you can hang out with my latest video right here, or you can hit the subscribe button right here and make sure that you never miss a video in the future. Other than that, I'll be back in the next one. So until then, I'm wishing you so much love. And as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.